What Rocket's saying is, hey, I need to move upstream. I want to be able to extend my lifetime relationship. This TrueBill deal is a very different business model, and I love it. It's going to help Rocket issue more loans, extend the relationship from their existing borrowers, and give more value. It's going to help TrueBill expand more aggressively, justify spending more money to acquire customers, both create value and extract value out of your users. Those things go hand in hand.
Rocket Mortgage, I guess they call themselves Rocket Companies, bought this company called TrueBill for $1.275, almost basically $1.3 billion cash. I actually love this acquisition. Traditional business, being Rocket. Granted, a very digitally savvy, but still a traditional business. They are a lender, right? They provide mortgages, car loans. They have really pioneered using digital instant approvals, using mobile, right? And really streamlining that whole process to get a loan instantly and doing that through a digital channel, right? So they've done a very good job at that. It's a linear business. It's a very digital savvy and digitally perfected linear business, but a linear business none the same. Rocket is not a platform company. They're lending from their own balance sheet and doing it just in a very digitally savvy manner, which again is a great business for them. They've done very well for themselves. But this TrueBill deal is a very different business model, and I love it. What this kind of reminds me of is you're providing more utility, right? You're moving upstream. If you are Rocket, you're saying, I want to move upstream into that consumer journey. How can I provide more value rather than when the consumer is just at the point ready to get the loan, the mortgage, the auto loan, et cetera? I want to move upstream to develop that relationship and have a much more holistic relationship with the consumer, with the borrower. And who's done a really good job at this over the years is actually Intuit. Intuit bought Mint.com back maybe 12 years ago, 2009, which, helped aggregate. You can use Mint and say, hey, I'm going to go put all my accounts. I'm going to put my bank accounts in here, my credit cards, right? And Mint is going to help me analyze all my spending and my bills and my net worth and my kind of financial profile and help me make sense of that and manage it, give me insights as a consumer. Makes a lot of sense, right? That one taking what they were doing more so on the business side with QuickBooks and TurboTax for, QuickBooks certainly for small businesses, and then now kind of moving into the consumer arena. Intuit, interestingly, just in the past couple of years, has been on a M&A spree, buying up Credit Karma for a few $1 billion, MailChimp for $12 billion, which MailChimp had not raised really any private money. So those founders did pretty well. These acquisitions for Intuit, I would say, still more so in keeping with their same business model. But you can see how they were broadening the portfolio of offering that they were providing to small businesses, to consumers. The interesting thing with the Rocket acquisition here is this TrueBill company has a very different business model than Rocket's core business. The TrueBill company is providing value much more similarly to the kinds of companies that QuickBooks has been buying, which are more of these SaaS kind of tools for consumers or small businesses. What TrueBill does, if you go to their website, actually, I think I'm going to go use this thing. It's great. TrueBill empowers you to save more, spend less, see everything, and take back control of your financial life. Basically, get control over your subscriptions. Never pay for an unwanted subscription again. TrueBill instantly finds and tracks your subscriptions. Your concierge is there when you need them to cancel services, so you don't have to. Stay on top of your spending, so they're giving you that analysis like a Mint.com is giving you. Get the best rates on your existing bills. Our concierge will identify bills that can be lowered and negotiate on your behalf for the best rates available. That kind of stuff, right? Very cool. It reminds me of a startup a friend of mine started many years ago, which ultimately went under. But what that startup would do is they would just hook up to your email and they would track, for example, your airline flights. And so they would track your, okay, hey, you booked a flight. Boom, I can see the flight that you're taking. And then they track if that flight is delayed. And if that flight is delayed, then they go ping your airline to try and get you some credits or miles or something like that automatically. And their business model was that you could just pay them like 30% of whatever they saved you. If they got you $100 worth of miles, you pay them $30, right? Really cool business model. Unfortunate that they didn't make it. I loved the value in it and kind of just set it and forget it. I haven't used TrueBill, but it would be, my hope is that this managing of subscriptions, this autopilot savings, this bill negotiation is kind of doing something similar, where you can just, they can say, hey, like, look at this subscription you've had, or we see that, these people over here have the same subscription, but you're paying a higher rate than they are. And you can kind of centralize all that information and help be the advocate of the consumer. Very different business model for Rocket, right? But what Rocket's saying is, hey, I need to move upstream, and I want to be able to extend my lifetime relationship with my consumers and future borrowers or existing borrowers. And so how can I provide value upstream? And TrueBill is their answer. And I really like the positioning of TrueBill. The synergy there is to say, hey, well, TrueBill, you've got over 2 million users today. I can have now a tighter integration so that when those consumers want a mortgage, an auto loan, etc., boom, Rocket is their go-to provider. That's going to provide synergy out of the gate. And for TrueBill, because they are going to be able to help Rocket monetize, they basically, what TrueBill has now done is basically unlocked a whole other revenue stream called lending. The way TrueBill makes money is, there's a free version, there's a primo version that you can pay like a SaaS fee for. And then if they save you money, they take, looks like 30% of the annual savings. So if they renegotiate, like this guy, they renegotiated, I think, his cable bill and internet bill, and then they get a cut of those savings. So it's a very cool model, like my friend's company or prior company with the airlines and kind of getting credits out of the airlines. Now TrueBill will have basically be able to justify having a higher CAC, cost of customer acquisition, because not only are they going to make money from a premium subscription, from taking 30% of the savings that they bring you, but now, they're going to be making money when their users get a loan through Rocket. And what that means is now TrueBill can be more aggressive in acquiring customers because now they have a more comprehensive model for monetization. And that ultimately is going to help both entities, right? It's going to help Rocket issue more loans, have a more captive audience of consumers, extend the relationship from their existing borrowers and give more value that TrueBill can provide. And then similarly, it's going to help TrueBill expand more aggressively, justify spending more money to acquire customers if they want to do that. And, you just have a more comprehensive and holistic way to monetize and both create value and extract value out of your users, which, they go, those things go hand in hand. So I love this play. Who should look at doing this kind of stuff that isn't are your large banks, right? Rocket's not a bank. They are, again, a digitally savvy lender. They're not a bank. But these banks that already provide a lot of consumer services beyond just lending. Give them ATMs, you give them checks, you give them bill pay capabilities, right? Like just managing and using that money to do a whole bunch of things. They're keeping their money in your bank. Why wouldn't you want to then provide these kinds of spending analysis tools, the ability to better manage all your subscriptions, right? Like all the data that the bank already has, they can already see a lot of this stuff, but they only get to see what is in their bank account, right? Many people have multiple bank accounts. So how can you now see, hey, look at, if I'm Chase, look at Alex's bank account with Bank of America. I'd be really good to try and steal Bank of America's business. And I'm going to give Alex some really good analysis tools to justify that. And I'm going to give Alex, this subscription management offering and all these other things, right? What are the banks doing besides really Goldman Sachs, who is just spending a bunch of money? It's a great example of a digital linear lender, Rocket, embracing a completely digital, very kind of SaaS-esque business model and putting the two things together. Love this. Love this play. Love this thinking. Love their ability to, to spend a good chunk of money, over $1 billion on something like this. A lot of work to get the integration correct. A lot of work. Because this company operates very differently than Rocket. Even though Rocket is very digitally savvy, they're still a lender. This company is not a lender. This is a kind of digital through and through business. At the end of the day, Rocket's a lender. Very different ways to think about creating value and monetizing value. But you can overcome that if managed properly. And I think if managed properly, strategically, and the synergies here are phenomenal, and I love this position. Hi, I'm Alex. Thanks for watching the show. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, but even better, make sure to follow us on Odyssey, follow us on Rumble, and text us 203-646-5159. Text the word Monopoly. You'll be subscribed. You'll get updates about when we're going live, our latest videos, and we'll send you even a little goodie bag. And in the event that we all get banned from big tech, we'll still be connected.